Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows and movies that are currently in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars, given that we do have George, John, and Dave all working together as a team to really bring Star Wars back to its roots, we also have a lot of things that have been happening with, of course, other creators out there like Joby Harold and Deborah Chow getting a lot of flack for what they did with the Kenobi TV show, and how a lot of fans are expressing major criticism over the series, and rightfully so. A lot of fans out there have valid points about the Kenobi series and exactly what went wrong with it all. And that brings us all down to Disney CEO Bob Chapek. Now, in case you guys did not know, Bob Chapek really has his hands tied. He's got a lot on his plate currently. He is really working around the clock to making the Star Wars roadmap as best as possible. And there are a lot of announcements on the horizon that will take place on Disney Plus Day, as well as D23. So those two events this year are going to be very big. We also have Star Wars Celebration in Europe of 2023. That's going to be another focus, of course, for major announcements for the new Star Wars TV shows and more. Now, on top of all of this, what's even all the more intriguing is exactly what Bob Chapek recently had to say about the Kenobi backlash, the Star Wars fandom, and a couple of big announcements that he had to actually say about the future of the franchise with some of the key fan favorite characters and more. Now, specifically, of course, on top of all of this, with Disney CEO Bob Chapek currently busy with his new Star Wars roadmap that will be announced at D23 and Disney Plus Day, Bob Chapek recently spoke to the Star Wars fandom and responded to the backlash of the Kenobi TV show for Disney Plus. Now, Bob Chapek went on to say the following: "It's no secret that a large amount of fans have been unhappy with the product that we put out over 1 month ago. We can't ignore the fact that some fans out there have been very unhappy with what we put out, and the one thing I have to say to the community is I do apologize if we rushed this project too fast for the fandom. We had a deadline, we chose it, and we went for it. Was it perhaps too fast and caused us to make a couple of mistakes with this installment? Very possible. But it is now in our best interest to do better things moving forward. We have some great things in the pipeline and in the works by both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni that I cannot wait to share with everybody by this year's D23 and Disney Plus Day. We have a lot of announcements in store for the fans. Again, I and many others apologize if we did anything wrong with the Kenobi project. We looked at our options in the beginning and really wanted to make this into a trilogy of movies. However, Bob Iger, the previous Disney CEO at the time, wanted to create a hiatus of Star Wars movies for a while, which threw us off track, and we had to make this into a series. This was a project that we had on and off production for many years, and I, of course, at least, am very grateful that we got to get the opportunity to bring back both Ewan and Hayden back into the picture. We have a great vision ahead of us, and some exciting things for Kenobi and Anakin in the future of Star Wars that we at Disney believe fans are truly going to respect and enjoy." Now, before I get on to the next thing of what Bob Chapek has to say, he is absolutely alluding to the fact that there is a Kenobi Season 2 in the works. Hayden is involved in the Ahsoka Tano series. He is going to be involved in multiple seasons for that show in multiple formats, you know, as Anakin, as Vader, of, you know, Anakin in flashbacks. I mean, all these different ways of bringing Hayden back into the Ahsoka series are being made possible right now. In fact, Hayden is going to begin filming his scenes for Ahsoka by the end of this month, so he's got a lot on his plate as well. So Bob Chapek apologizing about the Kenobi series, it comes off as sincere to a degree, but at the same exact time, you know, he really could have took the necessary steps to preventing a lot of these mistakes. Number one, you could have delayed the series. I don't care about a deadline, you know. I think that they could have at least delayed it, even by 3 months or 5 months, whatever it could have actually took for them to actually make things right. I think that's what they should have done. The second thing is that Bob Chapek is indeed admitting that they had a deadline, they had to go for it. Bob Iger, of course, wanted nothing to do with the Kenobi trilogy after a while, which basically forced them into really making this into a series, and that was all done by contract eventually. So, overall, alright, Bob Chapek goes on to say the following. We are already in the talks with Hayden and Ewan from multiple projects already that are going to create a brand new era for the fans to immerse themselves in. It's truly something exciting to watch unfold before our eyes. Star Wars is a complex thing, a complex franchise that needs great care and to be taken with respect, and we want to use those qualities to further enhance this world that we are creating for the fans. We have multiple projects in the works that will, of course, star both Ewan and Hayden that we can't go into much right now. But about the Kenobi series, it was about meeting a deadline for a release window, and maybe that was where our mistakes began. It's in our best interest to keep things moving forward with quality content. Apart from what Bob Chapek said here, of course, this all alludes to the fact that Kenobi Season 2 is in the works, as well as Hayden appearing in the Ahsoka Tano TV series. Now, he's also set to appear in Andor Season 2, in case you guys did not know about this. Andor Season 1, which by the way is going to debut on August 31st. Alright, we got a little bit of a ways to go, but so far that show is still slated for that release date. Season 2 is going to begin filming in the next couple of months, and that's exactly when Darth Vader is going to reappear again in what I like to call it as the Rogue One prequel, alright? So, Hayden coming back in multiple formats is great news. The fact that Bob Chapek is owning, alright, up to the mistakes, I guess, you know, you could view that as a good quality in him as a CEO of Disney. I mean, whether or not it's damage control, I mean, it most likely is damage control, but let's face it, I mean, the fact that he was at least able to say something is far superior than Kathleen Kennedy, who always stays silent, never says anything, or never really, you know, outright admits her failures, alright, except for Solo, and that was kind of like, you know, a half and half type of admitting situation there, but I digress. The thing about this that's very important that I think a lot of fans need to know is that they are now taking priority with Hayden and Ewan coming back into the Star Wars universe, taking advantage of that, moving forward with all of this, and placing them into multiple Star Wars TV shows. And I think that's one thing that a lot of fans need to realize, is that anything that Favreau and Filoni are creating are the projects that are going to succeed. And that's now the majority. You know, they're even going to get involved with Kenobi Season 2, Deborah Chow and Joby Harold are out, Favreau and Filoni are in, with other creators coming on board. We'll talk about that a little bit later. There's a lot of things happening, and Bob Chapek is really trying to create a legacy for himself, because he really wants to create that footprint of what he did with the Star Wars universe, what he is doing, of course, currently with other franchises out there, but he's really focused on Star Wars right now. He really wants to beat what Bob Iger did, because they had a falling out, in case you guys did not know. Both Iger and Chapek, when Chapek was stepping in, they had a falling out as Chapek was taking over. It's actually quite an awkward situation for them both. But overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.